Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, it's game time. It is playoff time. I'm making this video the night before the game. I don't know what my day is going to be like tomorrow morning, so I figured I'd better get this out tonight. Get all the stats out the way for the last 5 games of the Houston Rockets. We only have to do this once in the series. I'm not going to be doing that every game, obviously. But yeah, we got work to do right here, so bear with me. We're going to do this thing that we do. The 5th game previous to the latest game the Rockets have played was a game against the Golden State Warriors, who are in a play-in tournament game right now. That's pretty close, so I'm stepping away from it to make this video, and I'd like to get back to it, so I'm trying to make this as quick as possible. Houston won that game, 117-116 was the score. And let's get to the team stats. The Rockets shot 55% in that one from the field, 44 of 80. The Warriors shot 50%, 42 of 84. From the three-point line, the Rockets shot 45%, 13 of 29. The Warriors shot 35%, 14 of 40. From the free throw line, the Rockets shot 16 of 19 for 84%. The Warriors shot 18 of 20, 90%. From the rebounding side of things, Warriors 31, Rockets 38. 8 offensive boards for Houston, 6 for the Warriors. 30 assists for Houston, 34 for the Warriors. 4 steals for Houston, 7 for the Warriors. 7 blocks for Houston, 3 for the Warriors. Warriors had 10 turnovers, 14 points off of those. Houston had 14 turnovers, 23 points off of those. 8 fast break points for both teams. 54 points in the paint for the Rockets, 52 for the Warriors. Large lead in the game for the Rockets was 15. They led 64% of the time. And for the Warriors, it was 7. They led 32% of the time. All right, Kevin Durant, 37 minutes, 31 points, 10 of 17 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 8 of 9 from the line, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 turnovers, 3 blocks, -4. Jabari Smith, 32 minutes, 23 points, 9 of 12 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, +15. That kid is going to play a huge part in this series. We need to be very, very aware of Jabari Smith and just how efficient he looked in this one. Alpi Sengun, 37 minutes, 24 points, 10 of 19 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, hit all 3 of his free throws, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 blocks, 3 offensive boards, -1. Amin Thompson, 39 minutes, 18 points, 8 of 11 from the field, 2 of 4 from the line, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, +2. Reed Shepard, 26 minutes, 11 points, 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, 1 of 1 from the line, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steals, 1 block, +10. Sean Tate, 11 minutes, 0 of 1 from the field, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, -2. He also had 2 offensive boards there. Tari Eason, 19 minutes, only 2 points, 1 of 9 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3, 4 rebounds, 1 turnover, 1 steal, 1 offensive board, -4. Clint Capella, 4 minutes, 2 rebounds, 1 offensive board, 0 in the plus/minus. Aaron Holiday, 22 minutes, 6 points, 2 of 3 from both the 3 and field, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover, 1 block, 1 offensive board, -4. And Josh Okogie, 12 minutes, 2 points. Hit his only 2 free throws with 2 boards and 1 turnover, -7. High man for the Warriors was Steph with 29. They had 4 players in double figures and lost by 1. All right, next up for the Houston Rockets is a game against the Phoenix Suns, the other team the Warriors are seeing in the play-in tournament. Ironically, that game's in Phoenix. I want to get back to it. Hurry up and load, phone. Yeah, so while I'm waiting for my phone to do what it's supposed to be doing, it's playoff time. I know we're missing some people. I know how important Luka and Austin are to us. But at the end of the day, we should be competitive. We should be prepared. We should be ready to do the dirty work. Heavy emphasis has been placed upon rebounding. We need to execute the game plan. I just watched a Hornets team that absolutely failed at their game plan in a one-game situation against the Magic. Emphasis was placed on interior defense. They gave up all the interior points in the world. We need not be the damned Hornets. Let's follow the game plan no matter what. Whether we have all our people or not, if we set out to do something like control the glass, I expect for us to put an emphasis on the glass. And one thing about the playoffs is if you don't put your effort out there, if you don't play with confidence, no matter what the score is, you're definitely going to lose. It don't matter who you got on the floor. So we got to keep our confidence high, our head high, and most importantly, our head on a swivel. All right, next up, Phoenix. 119-105 with the score in Phoenix on 4-7. And yeah, let's get into the team stats, see if that'll give us some info we need. Suns shot 43% from the field, 32 of 75. The Rockets shot 45 of 100 for 45% from the field. 3-point line, 37% for the Rockets, 14 of 38. 23% for the Suns, 7 of 31. From the free throw line, the Suns got there 39 times and hit 34 of them for 87%. The Rockets 15 of 16 for 94%. 55 boards for the Rockets, 34 for the Suns. 24 offensive rebounds for the Rockets, 10 for the Suns. 26 assists for the Rockets, 15 for the Suns. 8 steals for the Rockets, 10 for the Suns. 3 blocks for the Rockets, 7 for the Suns. 19 turnovers for both squads. 25 points given up off the Suns, and 24 given up off the 19 from the Rockets. 14 fast break points Suns, 11 for the Rockets. 44 points in the paint Suns, 54 for the Rockets. Large lead of the game for the Suns was 21. They led 67% of the time, and for the Houston Rockets, it was 15. They led 28% of the time. So as we can see, the Rockets did their rebounding thing in this one. 24 offensive boards. Absolutely incredible. But they're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the world, which is why the emphasis from our coach to our team is crash the glass. So I'm going to be very disappointed if we don't do that in all of these games. All of them. All right, Kevin Durant, 36 minutes, 24 points, 8 of 20 from the field, 5 of 9 from 3, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 offensive board, -7. Jabari Smith, 39 minutes, 20 points, 6 of 18 from the field, 5 of 13 from the 3, 3 of 3 from the line, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 1 offensive board, +11. Not as efficient of a night for him, but he still launched 13 threes. So we got to be careful with Jabari. This is what he was drafted to be. Alpri Sengun, 28 minutes, 12 points, 5 of 15 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line. He had 14 boards, 6 assists, 6 turnovers, 7 offensive rebounds, +4. Amon Thompson, 36 minutes, 22 points, 10 of 16 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 turnovers, 3 steals, 1 block, 6 offensive rebounds, +2. Reed Shepherd, 21 minutes, 12 points, 5 of 9 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal, 1 offensive board, 0 and a ± for Reed Shepherd. Deshaun Tate, 7 minutes, 2 points, 1 of 1 from the field, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 1 offensive board, +11. Tari Eason, 31 minutes, 12 points, 5 of 7 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 1 turnover. 4 offensive rebounds, +29 for Tari Eason. He led the entire squad. In fact, he lapped them in ± for the most part. Clint Capella, 10 minutes, 2 points, 1 of 5 from the field, 3 rebounds, 1 turnover, 1 block, 1 offensive board, -2. And Aaron Holiday also had a very good ± 21 minutes, 12 points, 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, 1 turnover, 1 steal, +27. And Josh Okogie, 12 minutes, 1 point, missed all his shots. Over 3 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 offensive rebounds, -5. High man for the Phoenix Suns was Devin Booker with 31 points. Got to the line a bunch of times. All that's irrelevant to us. Let's move on. All right, next up for the Houston Rockets was a game against the 76ers, who would be playing against the Boston Celtics in the first round. 113-102 was the score there in Houston. The Rockets did win the game, and let's see how that went. All right, so the Rockets shot 45% from the field, 42 of 93. 76ers shot 45%, 38 of 85. From the three-point line, the Rockets 11 of 32 for 34%. Same thing for the Sixers, 11 of 32 for 34% from 3. 15 of 23 for the Sixers from the line, 65%. 18 of 26 for the Rockets, 69%. 53 rebounds for the Rockets, 47 for the Sixers, 16 offensive boards for the Rockets, 11 for the 76ers, 21 assists for both squads, 12 steals for the Rockets, 10 for the Sixers, 6 blocks for the Sixers, 1 for the Rockets, 15 turnovers for the Rockets, 13 points off of those, 16 turnovers for 76ers, 22 points off of those, 14 fast break points Rockets, 12 for Philly, 52 points in the paint for the Rockets, 48 for Philly. Large lead of the game for the Sixers was 2. They led 3% of the time. And for the Rockets, it was 28. They led 93% of the time. All right, high man for the Sixers was Tyrese Maxey with 24. They had 4 players in double figures. Kevin Durant, 38 minutes, 29 points, 10 of 18 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 6 of 8 from the line, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers, 2 offensive boards, plus 17, who led the whole team there. Jabari Smith, 34 minutes, 19 points, 7 of 15 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 3 turnovers, 1 block, plus 8. Alpi Sengun, 33 minutes, 8 points, 4 of 14 from the field, over 1 from 3, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 turnovers, 1 steal, 2 offensive boards, plus 4. It's a bad shooting night, 2 nights in a row there. I wonder if he's still a little cold. He still rebounded like a madman either way. Josh Okogie, 21 minutes, 9 points, 4 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from the line. 1 of 2 from the 3. No free throws attempted. He had 11 rebounds in this one. 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, 6 offensive boards, plus 4. He's going to be a monster to deal with. Josh Okogie is going to have a big part in this series. Guys like Rui Hachimura are going to have to box him out. It's going to be tough. I'm telling you, Josh Okogie is a guy that you circle on the Rockets to say, okay, you could forget he's down there wreaking havoc. Do not forget he's down there wreaking havoc. Is essentially what I'm telling you. Amen Thompson, 42 minutes, 19 points, 7 of 14 from the field, 2 of 3, 2 of 2, 0 of 2. I'm going to get this right. He did not hit a 3-point shot. He missed both of them. 5 of 8 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 turnovers, 3 steals, 3 offensive boards, plus 8. For Amen Thompson. Tari Eason, 27 minutes, 15 points, 5 of 10 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 offensive boards, minus 4. Clint Capella, 12 minutes, 1 point, missed both his field goals, 1 of 2 from the line, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, plus 11. Aaron Holiday, 14 minutes, 7 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 offensive board, plus 6. And Reed Shepherd, 19 minutes, 6 points, 2 of 7 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 1 assist, 2 steals, plus 1. All right, so, yeah, the thing about this that I'm thinking about as I take a pause here is just that I want our bench to outplay the bench of the Rockets. I believe that these are 2 of the worst benches in the NBA right now, but the Lakers bench is significantly improved. However, some of that has been shifted by the fact that we're missing our best players, so we have some of those guys in the starting lineup. It doesn't matter. We still should, in theory, have a much more productive bench than the Houston Rockets. So that's what I want to see each and every night. I will be paying attention throughout the course of this series how our bench is doing versus theirs, because that's where we really need to have the edge. Regardless of what's happening with the starters, we have got to kill their second and third units. Have to. Or we don't have a chance. So that's what I want to say here. All right, next up for the Houston Rockets was a game against the this was a big one. Against the Minnesota Timberwolves, 136-132 was the score. The Wolves got the win here. This game took place in Houston. And yes, the Timberwolves shot 57% from the field, 51 of 89. The Rockets shot 61%, 53 of 87. From the three-point line, the Rockets were 4 of 19 for 21%. And the Wolves 15 of 30 for 50%. From the free throw line, the Wolves 19 of 25 for 76%. The Rockets 22 of 28 for 79%. Rockets had 39 boards, Wolves 25. Rockets had 11 offensive boards, Wolves 7. 29 assists for Houston, 27 for Minnesota, 7 steals for Minnesota, 4 for Houston, 7 blocks for Minnesota, 8 for Houston, 8 turnovers for Minnesota, 11 points off of those. 13 for the Rockets, 17 points off of those. 10 fast break points for the Wolves, 16 for the Rockets, 64 points in the paint for the Wolves, 86 points in the paint for the Rockets. 10 was a large lead of the game for both of these squads. The Rockets, 49% of the time they led, 38% of the time Minnesota led. All right, box score time. High man for the Minnesota Timberwolves was Terrence Shannon with 23 points off of the bench. Very glad we don't have to see the Minnesota Timberwolves. So let's get to the team we do see. Kevin Durant, 39 minutes, 33 points, 13 of 18 from the field, over 1 from 3, 7 of 9 from the line, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 turnovers, 1 steal, 2 blocks, minus 3. Jabari Smith, 40 minutes, 16 points, 5 of 12 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 2 blocks, 1 offensive board, minus 4. Alperen Sengun, 29 minutes, 22 points, 10 of 13 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 turnovers, 1 block, 3 offensive boards, plus 7. So we did have a good shooting night here. Josh Okogie, 27 minutes, 2 points, missed all 3 of his threes, Hit both his free throws, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 2 blocks, +1. Eamon Thompson, 42 minutes, 41 points, 17 to 22 from the field. Missed his only 3-point attempt. Hit all 7 of his free throws. 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, 3 offensive boards, +1. If he has that type of night, you're not beating him. This is the type of night that Eamon Thompson's going to have 3 years from now when he's fully developed. And I'm telling you, this is when he starts making his name for himself in the playoffs. So we need to be on guard with this guy, because if he does something like this, it's going to be night-night for us. Deshaun Tate, 8 minutes, 2 points, 1 of 2 from the field, 4 rebounds, -3, 2 offensive boards there as well. Tari Eason, 24 minutes, didn't score. 0 of 3 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, 1 rebound, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 1 block, -3. Clint Capella, 8 minutes, 4 points, 2 of 2 from the field, 0 of 2 from the line, 1 rebound, 1 offensive board, -2. Aaron Holiday, 6 minutes, 1 rebound, 1 offensive board, +3. Reed Shepard, 18 minutes, 12 points, 5 of 12 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, -17. So once again, bad bench play from the Houston Rockets. Just terrible, actually. And that was it. They had a 41-point game from Eamon, 33-point game from Kevin. Alpe only missed 3 shots, and they still lost, because that's how bad the rest of that roster is looking. It's bad, man. And that's why I'm like, yo, I'm glad we don't play Minnesota, because Minnesota's is a better team right now. And so that's really what I have to say. I think if anybody in the Western Conference that we would hope to see without our 2 best players, is probably the team we're seeing, man. And that's no disrespect to them, because I know we're shorthanded, probably won't win, but I will take my chances against them over anybody else left in the playoffs right now, because they have some issues that I don't know that it even matters who they're going against, to be honest with you. They're going to struggle. And so that gives us a chance, and that's all we need. So I'm telling the Lakers, man, listen, you're going up against a team that ain't that great, man. They ain't that great. Last up for the Houston Rockets, 132-101 was the win against the Memphis Grizzlies, against a bunch of G League hopeful guys. This game was almost irrelevant, but we'll cover it anyway just for the sake of being thorough. High man for the Grizzlies was Dariq Whitehead. Welcome back to the league. 26 points in this one. All right. Deshaun Tate, 26 minutes, 13 points, 6 of 9 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, 0 of 1 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnovers, 1 steal, 2 offensive boards, +11. Tari Eason, 24 minutes, 20 points, 8 of 17 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 3 of 3 from the line, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 offensive boards, +20. Clint Capella, 23 minutes, 23 points, 9 of 11 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, 4 of 7 from the line, 13 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 blocks, 7 offensive boards for Clint, +24. It's a throwback game for Clint Capella, my goodness. Josh Okogie, 22 minutes, 3 points, 1 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, 1 block, 2 offensive boards, +21. Reed Shepard, 26 minutes, 19 points, 7 of 18 from the field, 4 of 12 from the 3, 1 of 2 from the line, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, +18. Green, 24 minutes, 6 points, 2 of 8 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 turnovers, 1 steal, 1 block, 2 offensive boards, +7. Dodo, 21 minutes, 9 points, 3 of 8 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 offensive boards, +22 for Dorian Finney-Smith, ex-Laker. Keep an eye on him. Isaiah Crawford, 16 minutes, 11 points, 4 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 offensive board, -8. Aaron Holiday, 20 minutes, 7 points, 2 of 4 from both the 3 and field, 1 of 2 from the line, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steals, +17. Davidson, 26 minutes, 9 points, 2 of 9 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3, 5 of 6 from the line, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 1 offensive board, +21. And Newton, 12 minutes, 12 points, 4 of 9 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 2 of 3 from the line, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 offensive boards, +2. All right, let's go over the team stats. I have not made that mistake at all until this very game. This last game, I made the biggest mistake. I didn't go through the team stats first. So let's do it now. 41 field goals, 41% for the Memphis Grizzlies, 39 of 95 from the field. 48 of 105 for the Rockets, 46%. From the three-point line, Rockets 29%, 14 of 49, and the Grizzlies 13 of 49 for 27%. Grizzlies hit all 10 of their free throws. Rockets 22 of 30 for 73% from the line. 64 rebounds for the Rockets, 37 for the Grizz. 21 offensive boards for the Rockets, 6 for the Grizz. 23 assists for both teams. 10 steals for the Rockets, 8 for the Grizzlies. 8 blocks for the Rockets, 6 for the Grizzlies. 13 turnovers for the Grizz, 19 points off of those, 11 for the Rockets, 15 points off of those. 16 fast break points for the Rockets, 14 for the Grizzlies, 2 points in the paint for the Rockets, 48 for the Grizzlies. Grizz had a 4-point lead, led 9% of the time, and the Rockets had a 39-point lead, led 87% of the time. And that's how that went. They got a chance to rest their majority of their guys and played some G League guys. Saw some stuff that they liked probably, and that ended the season for them. And we move on to where we are currently, playoffs. The series starts in Los Angeles at 5:30 Saturday, which is tomorrow for me, hopefully today for you if you're watching this at that time. And of course, you know, we just want to buy ourselves some time, man. We didn't work so hard to get to these damn playoffs. Had our heart ripped out of us 5 games ago when Luka and Austin went down in a 40-plus point loss against the best team in the NBA after we had went on a run of catastrophic proportions where we basically beat all the good teams in front of us for the course of the March month. They went down, man. They went down, but that didn't mean that we were done because we had already clinched our seeding, our playoff spot, rather, not our seeding. And, you know, we played some good games at the end of the season, to be honest with you. We started getting used to our rotations without Luka and Austin, and we really took care of business on both sides of the floor, beating up against bad teams. But, hey, we did what we needed to do, and we looked good doing it. So I was pretty pleased with our team and the way we finished the season overall. And now we just got to take what we have, next man up mentality. Home court advantage is ours. We've earned that going to Houston earlier in the month of March. In fact, that kind of kicked off our March, really. Going in there and beating them twice. I'm pretty sure they're going to want to take their pound of flesh out of us because of it. So we need to be ready for the revenge factor motivating them to come in and try to win 2 straight against us and hopefully get the sweeper for them. So we got to, you know, be ready. Houston's going to be wearing black on our home floor for Game 1. We're going to be wearing traditional yellow at home for Game 1, so you know I'm happy about that. The injury report is a little interesting. Steven Adams, of course, out for the season. Kevin Durant is a game-time decision. I expect he'll play. Alperen Sengun, game-time decision. I expect he'll play. Jabari Smith, game-time decision. I expect he will play. Amen Thompson, game-time decision. I expect he will play. Fred VanVleet, of course, is out. But I would not rule him all the way out because I don't think they said he was out for the season. He may come back in the playoffs. This is the playoffs. So I would not be overly surprised to see him play in this series somewhere down the road. Wouldn't. I haven't heard anything like that, but just paying attention to what I'm seeing here. Jackson Hayes, game time decision. I expect he will play. Austin and Luka, of course, are out. Everybody else healthy. So that's what it is, man. That's what's going on. The Los Angeles Lakers are 53-29. Of course, 4th in the Western Conference. Our home record was 28-13. Offensive rating 10th. Defensive rating 20th, 14th overall net rating. Meanwhile, the Rockets 52-30. They're 5th in the West. 22-19 is their away record. 8th offensive rating, 6th defensive rating, and 6th net rating. This is not the greatest road team. Everybody, 22-19 is not a good record for the road. That's not good. So we need to take care of this house, and we need to understand that the mustard can fall off the hot dog, so to speak, for them. Rest in peace, Chick Hearn. If things don't necessarily go right, it's not all guaranteed that they're going to win. And I don't know what them having all of their starting lineup being game time decisions is supposed to send me as it pertains to the mentality that they're coming in with. Salute the Kobe minute. Because on one hand, I'm looking at them saying, okay, they're trying to throw us off. They're trying to throw us off. Obviously, all those people are going to play. On the other hand, there's another thought that says, are those people banged up? Are they actually banged up? And if so, is that not going to hamper them a little bit? Does that not help us a little bit? And the third thing is, are they looking at this as a free series? As if they can rest all of their people in Game 1 and not worry because they can beat us because we ain't got Luka and Austin? Because if that's the mentality they're bringing into this series, they're about to be beaten in for Game 1. You cannot and it's all about mentality around this time of year. You can't come in taking your opponent for granted. And with them having all these players on the injury report, Steven Adams obviously out for the season, but Kevin Durant, Alpi Sengun, Jabari Smith, and Amon Thompson, all game time decisions, that speaks a lot of different things to me, none of which tells me that they're taking us seriously. Okay, that's what that tells me. They're probably not either they're not taking us seriously, they're trying to throw us off, but that's a stupid fake out because at the end of the day, we expect those people to play. We're preparing for them to play. We won't be surprised when they do. So that's kind of a minute psychological button that they're pressing. It's like a shot in the dark, hoping that some bad propaganda is going to work on our skulls or something. That's not going to work. That's ridiculous. But to me, it says either these people they're all not all that healthy. If all of those people are going to be banged up for this series, that dumbs it down for us a bit. Because like I said, that bench is not very productive, man. And some of those people who are not listed as game time decisions are not the healthiest. Tari Eason, he's been banged up all year. Dorian Finney-Smith, banged up all year. And they don't have a legitimate point guard. So I expect that our offense, in theory, should be able to maintain itself in longer spurts with our playmaking ability, even without Luka and Austin. I still expect the Los Angeles Lakers will be able to keep up with this team offensively. Now, defensively is where we're going to have some trouble. Athleticism, letting them get out in fast breaks, offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding, we're at a real significant disadvantage, but I think we'd be at a disadvantage anyway. Even if Austin and Luka was out there, we wouldn't necessarily be good enough on the rebounding or quick enough defensively to mess with them. Now, the thing I'm thinking as well is Luka and Austin, amazing players as they are not great athletes. They're great basketball players, but they're not significantly strong athletes. What this may do is allow for us to have more of our athleticism on the floor, potentially, and more of our foot speed on the floor, potentially, and more of our defense on the floor, potentially. Now, you don't have your superstar talent that can close games and stuff like that, but what you do have is probably more abilities in other areas that can help you in the areas where you're otherwise considered deficient. But it depends on what coach decides to do. So we're going to find out. He shrunk his bench in some unnatural ways last playoffs, and we were out of here in 5 games. I think it had something to do with that. We didn't come in prepared for Minnesota. We kind of took them for granted. I don't think we'll make that mistake again, especially with us having missed 2 of our most important players. I think we've learned some things since last year, and JJ's on the clock. Whether we win the series or not, how he handles the series is very, very important, and how this team looks prepared is very, very important. So we have some things that I think can be on the floor that can help us a little bit. If you use Otto Thero at the playoffs, you might not want to use a rookie now. You didn't trust him all season, so I don't expect him to use him now. But you're more likely to be forced to use more athletic talent. Bronny James, from what I understand, is going to be in rotation in this series. How he handles playoff basketball and how well he shows up is going to be essential to us because he provides athleticism and foot speed. So can he outplay an Aaron Holiday? That's something I'm going to be looking for. This is the type of thing that I'm wondering about. We got Marcus Smart back. A good portion of time without Luka and Austin, we haven't had Marcus Smart. So we should be significantly more capable, significantly more powerful with him as a playmaker and a overall helpful piece out there on the defensive end. Obviously, he makes up a good portion of what we're capable of on the perimeter. So him staying healthy is going to be very important. Hopefully this week off of basketball can help him get a little further into that. Jackson Hayes had a great season all year long. The worst nightmare for me is that Jackson Hayes regresses right now. That's what scares me. I don't want that for him. You know what I mean? He's had such an amazing season. I know he's a little banged up. I hope he doesn't forget all of the good that he's done and start playing like old Jackson Hayes, because if that happens, we're not going to do well. But if he plays like the Jackson Hayes he's been all season, I like our chances against an older Clint Capella and a physical Alpi Sengun. Sengun's going to get his pound of flesh out of both of them. That's not going to be a thing. But we can still, at this point, utilize Jackson Hayes, even though we don't have the Hayes Whisperer, Luka Doncic out there finding lobs for him. I think LeBron and he have found a great deal of chemistry improvement this season, and I expect for us to continue to use Jackson Hayes as a more important bench player than maybe he's ever been in his career. So he's somebody I'm circling for us this year. Luke Kennard, obviously, in the playoffs, we need to see him do the same stuff he did near the end of the season. Big-time assist stuff he was able to do when Luka and Austin went down. We need him to continue to be the excellent shooter and playmaker that he's been. And we need him to hold up on the defensive end, too. Try hard, do what you got to do to help your squad, because you are going to be relied upon to make up some of that scoring that's missing, if not a good portion of it. And I think JJ's going to be calling his number a lot. And Rui Hachimura is somebody I got circled, man. I need Rui to have a good playoffs. One of the things that I've noticed in looking at the stats of the Lakers is that we literally have two of the best shooters in the NBA right now, in Luke Kennard and Rui Hachimura. They are the two highest percentage shooters in the NBA. We need to exploit that to the best of our ability throughout the course of this series. If we're going to fight and have a chance to extend this series, it's going to be because we leaned into that hyper efficiency and made them carry a great deal of the load that Austin and Luka would otherwise hold. It can't just be Bron taking things upon himself, because if that's the case, we're gonna lose out on some of our efficiency. We got to have Rui step up and score big. We need Kennard to step up and score big, and I think that's going to be our best bet. Lean into the stuff that works, man. If guys are shooting over 50%, then damn it, they should be shooting over 50% of the time. I think that's just common sense. So I want us to not deviate from that too much. Obviously, LeBron's going to take on a greater role with Austin and Luka down, but I want LeBron to still stay doing the things that he needs to do to assure that we have extra athleticism, rebounding prowess, diving for loose balls. It's playoff time. We got to do that. I don't want him to forego anything on the defensive end for scoring. I would rather him average 20 points in this game, in this series, than for him to try to average 30 and then have us having him take off plays on the defensive end. It just doesn't work against Amen Thompson and Tari Eason and Alperen Sengun. It's not going to work. We need LeBron to continue to play pretty much the same role with maybe a few extra shot attempts, but not deviating too much from the role that he was playing when Luka and Austin was on the floor, because we need him as our most athletic and strong player to do those things against this opponent. And so that's a very key component, because I understand that, without really giving too much thought to it, you say LeBron needs to take 20 shots, be on the floor for 48 minutes, and play the old way LeBron played, which is all offense and pull back on the defensive energy. That doesn't work with this type of talent that they have, and with the idea that the Rockets are not a great offensive team. You got to shift your mentality to, I got to play the role that I had been playing when Luka and Austin was out there, because I may not need to score 150 points to beat the Rockets, but I do need to be able to be fast enough, quick enough, athletic enough, and physical enough to beat them. And if we don't have LeBron playing that role so he can take 7 or 8 more shots, it's not going to work. I think Luka, Austin, and DeAndre Jackson, and whoever else we decide to use, should, in theory, be able to make up the difference in the scoring enough to beat an otherwise offensively somewhat hampered Rockets unit. Kevin Durant's going to get his shots. He's going to be highly efficient. He's going to hit big shots. But that only makes up so much. Is Tari Eason going to be consistent enough? Is Alperen Sengun going to be consistent enough scoring the ball? Can they get enough out of Amen Thompson every night scoring the ball? The answer will be absolutely, if we don't have that physical presence of LeBron James being a banshee out there for us. Remember who you're going up against. They don't have a point guard, man. Reed Shepherd is a pure 2 trying to learn how to be a 1. They don't have a 1 on the roster. Aaron Holiday, not a 1. So there are going to be times where you can score 110 points and beat this team. So the key is to hold up on the defensive end, do enough of the dirty work to offset the strengths of the players like Amen Thompson and Tari Eason, Alperen Sengun, Josh Okogie, and Jabari Smith. Because there are going to be nights where you're going to need to score more, but there are also going to be nights where they're not going to score so much. So you just got to be able to meet them at the summit and the things that they're good at. Mainly rebounding the ball and getting back, cutting down as many fast break opportunities as they could possibly cut down. Amon Thompson's going to get his in that regard. But we need to limit some of those other guys. We don't need everybody running on us every night. It's not going to work. So have a plan as it pertains to scoring 120 points in this series. In theory, should win every game for you. You don't have to score 150. You don't have to score 140 every night to win in this series. That's just not the type of series this is. This is a rebounding, physical series where you have to limit what the Rockets are able to do in transition, force them into their half-court offense where they are somewhat fully reliant upon Alpi doing back-to-the-basket stuff and Kevin Durant finding ways of shooting with limited space. Because Amon ain't stretching the floor. Josh Okogie ain't really stretching the floor. Jabari Smith may be on the floor with them at the same time with that ability. Reed Shepherd tends to shoot a lot of threes, but is not the most efficient three-point shooter. You don't want to leave him open, but the spacing is going to be kind of iffy in half-court situations for the Rockets in theory. In theory, depending on the rotations that they use. Dorian Finney-Smith's going to be disruptive defensively, so you got to take into account the defensive ability of their bench. Once they put Okogie and Dodo on the floor and Capella, suddenly you're dealing with a bunch of physicality that could really rough up our second units. So I expect for coach to probably shrink our bench to a degree in those situations, playing our starters and LeBron in some of those situations where we just got to take the punishment. And so LeBron's got to hold up. He's 41, but he got to hold up because if he gets hurt, we're out of here. We need him to be fresh. And so that's why I wouldn't mind throwing I'll do Thero at the Rockets occasionally, throwing Vando at the Rockets occasionally, because you're just going to want to have that physical presence, athletic presence, defensive-minded presence, rebounding capable presence on the floor in this series. I do not think we win this series if we fully bench Vando and Adu. I don't think so. I don't expect us to play Adu much, but Vando is going to be very important to offset the Okogie experience, to offset the Tari Eason energy offensive rebounding experience. You have got to utilize your athleticism and your banshees to the best of your ability. Obviously, we're talking about Jake LaRavia as well. What type of series he's going to have? Because he's tend to struggle in the second half of the season after having a really good start to the season. If he could step back into his comfort zone, hitting shots, being efficient, being aggressive, it would go a long way in helping this basketball team overcome Luka and Austin's absence. But if he's going to be sorry, we're going to be going soon. We really need that Banshee to outplay what he's been playing these last couple of months. He has not been good lately. He's been up and down. We need the up, and we need it to stay there. And so that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at him. It's not enough to just do the Banshee stuff. He has to contribute to scoring. I need at least 12 points from Jake LaRavia. I need at least 12 points. And nights where he goes 0 for 2 and stuff like that, sometimes he has nights where he goes 2 for 3. I need him to be more aggressive, and I need him to relax and let the shot go when it comes to that three-point shot. Relax and let it go. Don't do too much thinking. The less you think, the better you play. That's what I would say to Jake LaRavia. The less you think, the better you play. So, yeah, man. I mean, I have faith that we're going to be able to make up the scoring so long as we use common sense as it pertains to allowing the right people to take the shots that we need taken. And that means LeBron's going to have to pass up some shots and be a passer, get 12 assists, 13 assists, and make damn sure that Rui Hachimura and Luke Kennard and, of course, DeAndre Ayton are getting their touches. I haven't mentioned DeAndre Ayton. Obviously, we need him to rebound the ball. Obviously, we need him to play with a lot of energy. Obviously, we need him to be present for every game of this series. If he's down on himself, we're going to be down and out. We need him to be his best self, double-doubles. We need scoring. We need rebounds. We need him to keep his composure against Clint Capella in that whole situation. And we need him to stand tall against Alpi Sengun, who's going to be trying to work him. I know Ayton is big enough and strong enough to stay in front of the strongest players in this league. He is going to have a hell of a time with Alperen Sengun, but he can't get down on himself. He just got to be next play up. It's the playoffs. You're playing for something. You're playing for your next contract if you're Ayton. You're playing for your next contract if you're Rui. You're playing for your next contract if you're Kennard. All of that is a lot of pressure, but the best way to be successful in earning your keep is being a good piece to a team. If you become selfish, thinking about I need mine, it's only me, how can I get mine, you're going to lose and people are not going to pay you. The best way to help yourself is to be a well-oiled piece to a well-oiled machine. And that's why I tell any basketball player anyway, but especially players going into these playoffs, entering free agency. Selfishness will lose you money. Team play is what people are looking for from you. So that's really what it is, man. It's playoff time, bro. We don't doubt that we're at a disadvantage. Nobody's putting pressure on the Lakers to sweep the Rockets or win this series in 5 or nothing. None of that. There's no pressure on you to win the series. The pressure is on you to follow the game plan, use common sense as it pertains to how to approach this team, and keep fighting until the whistle blows at the end. That's really it, man. That's all. That's the only pressure we have. Nobody expects us to win. Nobody's picking us to win. Nobody's expecting Luka Austin to come back in the series. None of that is real. What is real is that we're in the playoffs. We've earned the right to be here. We have home court advantage, and we're going up against a team that ain't all that. They ain't all that, man. They are lacking in some key areas. One being continuity on the offensive end, because there's literally no playmaking passer on the floor at a given moment. They need KD to just find his own off the dribble or be that playmaker, which he's capable of doing. They need Reed Shepherd to be a point guard. He is not that. They need Alperen Sengun to help find people, but he's also going to be responsible for scoring and staying out of foul trouble, for which I expect for us to put pressure on him in regards to that. And you know, that's the only way they're going to be able to pass the ball around. They don't really have anybody doing that for them. Amen Thompson should, in theory, be able to do some of that, but he's also going to be responsible for other things. They just don't have a point guard out there, and they're not going to find one. So there are going to be times where even against this hurt, hobbled Laker team, they're not going to look that great. Their bench is not very productive. There's going to be good portions of the time where we're going to be able to get back in basketball games with a deficit, or we're going to be able to run up the score, for which we're going to be responsible for holding the lead. I'm not afraid of Kevin Durant. With all due respect to Kevin Durant, he don't scare me. He ain't scared me in years. I stopped fearing Kevin Durant back in the Brooklyn days, man. He's just he's a guy at this point who's highly efficient and an intricate call to a good situation, but this ain't that. And they need him to basically be a number 1 or number 2. And he's number 2 to a center, basically. And a non-scoring hyper athlete in Amen Thompson. Their team is not constructed for what it is that's ultimately in front of them throughout the course of these playoffs. If they had Fred VanVleet down there scoring 30 points and getting 3 steals a night and 8 assists, it would all come together. But without that player, their GM failed them, and they're not really able to be a really strong offense. Defensively, they're strong, but they're deficient in the point guard position. They're deficient with youth on their bench after Shepherd and Thompson. Now they get a little older. They're missing that difference maker in Adams that would ultimately make them too big to deal with for a team like us. That piece is not available. They put their faith in Dodo. Dodo's old. Faith in Capella. Capella's old. They kept old man Green, Jeff Green, around. He's old. So it gets to a point where it's like, yo, that roster is not better than ours. And I don't think our roster is great, but we have more capable talent on our team, man. And I think coach should explore the hyper capable offense of Drew Timme in this series. I think that we have left so much meat on the bone as it pertains to just how much of an offense he can carry by himself. That's all he did in college. He was the offense. the offense in college when he played. He is someone who scores in his sleep. He can't defend very well, but he can score in his damn sleep. And every time we give him an opportunity to score, I have yet to see anybody slow him down. We're just ignoring a real serious weapon in Drew Timme on our roster, man. And when you're in a playoff series, JJ, one of the things that I've noticed throughout the course of the 30-plus years I've been enjoying basketball is that sometimes you just got to pull a plug out of nowhere and catch a team off guard randomly in a game 3. And Drew Timme is the type of piece where you can go to him in a third quarter at the 8-minute mark, run a bunch of plays for him, and suddenly he's running up 10 points. And they had no answer for him because they didn't even have him on the drawing board. This is the type of things that good coaches find a way to do, man. I remember a guy by the name of what's his name? Waller. Is it Waller? Walker? The fourth. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Game 4, Walker the fourth went crazy, ran up a score, won us a game. It was a big thing. You don't get that unless you play that player. You don't get that opportunity unless you give that guy on your bench who never plays an opportunity to be showcased in a random playoff game when nobody's paying any attention to him. They're game planning for everything but this dude, and all of a sudden they're getting him coming at them. This is the type of stuff that wins you series, and I want to see us explore such things. I think Drew Timme is the exact piece that I would be looking for to provide me some scoring without Luka and Austin that I don't expect they're really thinking anything about. I don't know that he's on our playoff roster. For all I know, he's not on our playoff roster. But it would behoove the Los Angeles Lakers to make sure that he is, for this reason. He can score. He can score, man. And I just don't think we've kind of just like, oh, we don't think none of him, all his deficiencies in athleticism and defense just makes it so they're not really playing and we have other things to focus on. No. You have got to be more fluid about what options you are willing to use in order to beat teams at this level in the playoffs. And the sooner JJ understands that robotic stuff is predictable and easily to overcome, but this randomness is very, very difficult to anticipate, and more so will catch people off guard even when they're prepared. That type of stuff will beat you. If you don't find a way to in-game adjust to it, you can get destroyed by a team that's willing to make those decisions. And so that's what I want to say. Lonnie Walker is who I'm trying to refer to. He won us a playoff game in a big situation. He was in a similar role as Drew Timme at the time. I think Drew Timme is the exact piece that we need to utilize to try to find a way to manifest scoring where it's otherwise absent with those two players missing. He can help do that. So, these are things I've been thinking about, man. I've been paying attention to a lot of basketball, more basketball lately than I ever have in my life. Studying what's going on in these playoff games, studying all these prospects. I'm very keen on this sport right now, even though I haven't really been in your faces talking about the Lakers. And one thing I can say is the games have to be tossed up in the air. At the end of the day, the ball gets tossed up in the air, and the team that thinks they have the advantage may not. Charlotte taught me this lesson today. The Magic just really punished them and abused them out there. And I was so certain that because I saw the Charlotte Hornets play so well over the last several weeks, and because I saw the Magic play so poorly against the 76ers and Celtics, that they were automatically going to come in and get beat up. I was reminded that is not how this works. And the Rockets, if they take us for granted, will too be reminded that is not how this works. You got to come in prepared, and you got to come in respecting players at this level. And if you don't, a Drew Timme can drop 35 on you, and you will lose a game 1 just like that. And so that's what I'm telling all of us. We will take the Josh Okogis and Aaron Holidays very seriously. And if a guy like Davison comes in, we will respect him too, because at the end of the day, we can't afford not to, based on what we got going on. And if we take everybody seriously and respect every single possession, lay it all on the line, every single possession, there are going to be times where the Rockets' deficiencies are going to hand us opportunities. If we're keen enough to seize them, we will find that we can extend this series. And that's all we're asking. is extended. Buy us some time. Get us a split here. Get us a split there. Secure us a game 5. Secure us a game 6. That's all I'm asking. And once you start getting into that territory, you put the pressure on the Rockets and potentially create an environment where maybe something special can happen. But you have got to buy yourself some time. So that's what I'm saying, man. Buy me some time. That's all I'm asking. So, 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern, here in Los Angeles. Throughout the course of this series, we of course will do all the same stuff that we've been doing, except for reading off stats. We'll only do that here on this video, and I'll refer to anybody who wants to see stats to the Game 1 pregame videos. So that's what this is. We're ready, man. It's playoff time. We've earned this, Lakers. That's what it really comes down to. With or without Luka and Austin, we've earned the right to be here. We should be proud of ourselves for all the work that we put in. And we should expect that if we continue to put in work, it will yield us the results that we most appreciate. Nothing's changed. BDL 44. I thank y'all for watching.